You got to lose to know how to win. That's from President Donald Trump's latest video going viral, and it's a lesson that I've learned throughout my life. All the adversity I've faced along the way has brought me to this moment in time, the most important battle I've ever been a part of, the one to save our country, to save the American dream that I have been so blessed to live. I had to lose to know how to win. I know what we need to do to win here in Colorado again, to win back our freedom, our respect of the Constitution, our individual rights, our kids' future. President Ronald Reagan said, "The person who agrees with you 80% of the time is a friend and an ally, not a 20% traitor." Join me if you believe that, because we're going to welcome all liberty-loving friends. No purity test, just good old-fashioned collaboration, friendship. Let's make sure our tent gets bigger. It must if we want to win again. We did it last year to defeat Proposition HH, that deceitful hot mess of a bill that Jared Polis tried to sneak by us. We did it in 2018 to vote down Proposition 112, a draconian oil and gas setback law. We came together both of those times as freedom lovers across the spectrum of labels to vote those two initiatives down. That's how we do it in Colorado if we want to win again. In the last couple of years, I have been called so many names. Been called a rhino, establishment, Heidi, MAGA, Mad Mom, you name it, so many labels. But they call me names and others' names to distract Colorado voters away from the disaster that they've created, that is homelessness, crime, poverty, open borders, skyrocketing teen suicide rates, drug addiction rates for our kids, and our distrust in elections. The Democrats are busy being sneaky and tucking damaging legislation into bills such as statewide health care bills that will drive great doctors from our state, or killing Tabor, or destroying our cities with their 15-minute plans. Rhino means Republican in name only. What you don't hear is Democrats or the left calling each other dinos. Have you heard that? I haven't in Colorado. They are too busy working in tandem to increase our taxes and pass bills that move us into a dictatorship towards socialism, which is their end goal. Now, if you want to label me, here are some labels to use. I'm an American. I love America. I love this country. I'm a fighter. I'm a mother. I'm a survivor. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter, a friend, an entrepreneur, a problem solver. I'm a girl from Monument, Colorado that loves this state with all my heart. That's who I am. I'm a proud freedom fighter that is not going to sit by and continue to watch our freedoms with a voice muffled and silenced, even by those in our own party. Each of us was created to serve a purpose. Don't get lost in the noise. Just stay focused on your purpose. Mine is to fight for this great country that I love so much, that has given so much to me and my family, that I want to pay it forward. You got to lose to know how to win. I learned far more by losing that hardcore governor's race in 22 than I did by winning the regent race statewide in 2016. I got to see behind the curtain how corrupt Jared Polis and the Democrats are, how disciplined and committed the Democrats are to winning, how organized they are, how much money they have, and how effective they are at deploying it. They didn't have one primary in 2022. Now, I'm not suggesting that Republicans have no primaries. We all know that Republicans are individual thinkers. We are not all in lockstep following the big government and corporate bosses. And this is a strength for our party. It is a strength for Coloradans. Competition and choices make us stronger. It's what the free markets are all about. But conservatives are tired of losing. Having traveled the state, nearly every conservative agrees that the constant infighting hurts our chances to win elections. President Ronald Reagan proposed an 11th commandment, "Thou shalt not speak ill of any fellow Republican." You hear that, Colorado? He also described America as that shining city on a hill. And through unity, I believe Republicans can help Colorado to once again become that shining city on a hill. As I traveled every county, every hill, every mountain and valley in Colorado during the election, I saw it all. And now my mission is to take what I learned and expose it, to teach all of you, to give you tools, lessons, the roadmap to win again, to raise money for resources to help us build that map. Not to profit, not to build a shadow GOP, not to kowtow to the establishment, and not to play games about who is pure enough. I just want us to win. Period. We can't govern if we don't win elections. So we're going to get busy building something new every day on the ground with patriots who get it, that want to work together, who want to work with us. If you don't, that's fine. You do your own thing. But we're going to get busy building something that works. The attacks from within our party and from outside do nothing to stop me. In fact, it motivates me even more. It inspires me. As you know, Colorado is at a pivotal moment in time. We can either rethink our approach to growing the conservative base so that we can ultimately win elections again, or we can keep doing what we've been doing for decades and hope for a different result. Hope is not a plan. And I'm an entrepreneur, a seasoned CEO. I build systems, processes, brands. I'm going all in on rebuilding our movement here in Colorado. I so want my kids to stay here. I want my grandkids to grow up here. I want to stay here. I want you to stay here. It's not an option. We must stay and fight. We need to fight for the Colorado that we grew up in, the Colorado that we believe in, the Colorado that we love. So the question is, how? How do we do this? Well, when you want to do something big, you seek out others that have done what you're trying to do. So that's what we did, and why we are following a plan that is tested and tried, that works in another key state. I'm going to be very honest and open about this plan. It doesn't matter who gets a hold of this, who leaks it. It's not about the plan. It's about how we execute it. So it doesn't really matter who gets a hold of this information. And it's not brain surgery. It's basic blocking and tackling. The more it's exposed by the naysayers on our party and outside of our party, the more patriots that we reach who get it and want to be a part of it. In fact, we appreciate the help in sharing the plan, however it gets out. So, what is the road to red? Well, it's a strategy, a plan that we've worked on for the last year since the election, the 22 election, that is based on a proven, multifaceted, long-term strategy that was implemented in Texas. I believe wholeheartedly it is our best path forward. I've looked at efforts all over our country to turn blue states red. And despite Texas and Colorado being two very different states, they were facing a lot of the same core problems a decade ago there that we are facing now. Coloradans don't know the truth, thanks to one-sided media partnering with the left and messaging for the Democrats. There are few platforms that exist for conservatives to get our message out around the media, around messaging, around digital, social media. There are siloed conservative organizations statewide that are great people with good intentions, but they are struggling to grow and be effective. They are struggling to reach like-minded conservatives and build this movement. Resources are not spent in a productive or strategic way in most cases. And finally, our data and our technology is extremely lacking. We saw that on the campaign on the governor's race. You've got to have good technology and data to make a difference. The Democrats are awesome at that. Now, I'm not going to tell you that these challenges can be easily fixed, but we can chip away at these problems until they become the strengths of our movement. I am confident that this proven plan will build the most organized, active, and powerful network of grassroots activists Colorado has ever seen. I believe we can reach conservative, unaffiliated voters also who support our cause, who support the ideas that we have to solve a lot of the problems that are out of control right now across this beautiful state. The Road to Red is being launched to ensure that the citizens of this centennial state can be well-informed and effectively engaged. As you know, there's a lot to be done, and we are going to forge ahead. Over the last 2 decades, the radical left, led by Jared Polis, has taken control of Colorado and exposed their dangerous plan, the blueprint. He has Californicated us. He has made Colorado one of the most liberal states in the nation by controlling its population, by lying to them, by making them believe that everything is wonderful, when all the statistics and the things we see, our own eyes see, tell us it's exactly the opposite. The radical left has implemented their plan of infiltrating and controlling the media, silencing the truth. 97% of journalists are liberal. Fake news isn't just a catchphrase, it's a reality. Passing new laws in the darkness of night is one of the things they've done best. Do you remember the final days and hours of the last legislative session? Wow, they got a lot done, and none of it was good. And they'll do it again in the coming session as well. They built an amazing ballot harvesting machine. They poisoned the education system. They regulated and taxed business owners into desperation and towards closure. Does anyone remember COVID under Jared Polis? The left's plan has made our state unsafe, unaffordable, and set Colorado on the wrong path for the future. We are not California. We should not try and be California. We should be Colorado and get back to our roots, the wild, wild west, the new frontier. On our side of the aisle, we have our own challenges. We conservatives argue over what's true and are unable to counteract the liberal media and their messaging machine. We rely on repetitive, outdated strategies, and we operated in small, fragmented silos around the state. We use outdated, ineffective technology and bad data. We have no common theme or narrative about what we're fighting for. People who aren't part of our movement don't understand what we stand for. They believe the liberal media's take on who we are and what we believe. Now, with the left's blueprint exposed and nearly complete, Coloradans have just one question to ask themselves before it's too late. Do you want your children and grandchildren to grow up in a free, safe, and prosperous state? What Colorado do you want to leave behind for them? It's a question that we need to ask everyone who lives here. Increasing prices and inflation are crushing millennials and Generation Z, the future generation of Colorado. According to a Harris poll, nearly half of millennials are living at home with their parents, not being able to afford homes, and winding up in low-paying jobs. Many went to universities of indoctrination dominated by the liberal left. They were promised jobs and a future. But as we know, the left destroys everything that it controls, and it has put so much debt on millennials that they are drowning and asking for a college debt bailout. I have an idea. Instead of bailing them out with tax-paying dollars from the working class, how about we make the elite university bosses pay for it? I can tell you, as a former regent at the University of Colorado for the last 6 years, it was exclusively their fault in the first place. Now, millennials are lagging in home ownership, in wealth growth, in marriage, and are delaying having children. Mental health, depression, and suicide rates are climbing among every population in our country. But you won't hear about any of that from the biased, liberal-controlled media. No wonder, then, that according to the Gallup polls, less than half of people believe that the next generation will have a better life than their parents. We're seeing that play out every day with every age group. So something needs to change. I submit to you that Rocky Mountain Voice is a big part of that change. We believe that there is still hope for Colorado. We believe in the exceptionalism of Colorado. And when executed, we have our own road to red. We will fight until we have returned the rugged individualist mentality to Colorado with the foundation in America's founding principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We will stand in the face of the left's hostile takeover of our state. With you, we will work to restore Colorado. We will make Colorado a destination for freedom-loving Americans, not a point of departure. With your support, we will build a platform that will offer a voice to those not usually heard in Colorado, not in a long, long time. We will build a movement by identifying, empowering, and growing organizations that are excited to move us forward together. We will introduce new, effective technology that leverages powerful, accurate data and assures our resources and efforts are executed efficiently and effectively. We will execute a targeted ballot collecting strategy to compete with the left and do so with integrity, not behind closed doors, out in the open, inviting voters to be part of this new way of approaching Colorado's future. Now, for the sake of our country, for the sake of our state, for the sake of our future, For the sake of freedom, we will win again. We must win again. Here's our commitment. Colorado is unique. It lies in the beautiful heart of the Rocky Mountains, which offers the wonders of outdoor Colorado and the rugged individualism which has framed our past. Colorado is not just another state, it's a state filled with doers and patriots who they've been trying to silence. Colorado is the farmer, the rancher, the factory worker, the traditional and renewable energy worker. It is the urban single mom, the rural dad working from before dusk to beyond dawn, and then attending a PTA meeting. It is family values and church on Sunday morning. Colorado not only deserves saving, she deserves our abundant celebration and appreciation. The radical left is a powerful force, but they will meet their match with the road to red. We are determined and armed with effective tools and mentors and technology and prepared for the long game to win back our state. Our mission is to make Colorado a free and prosperous state again through citizen education and the rebuilding of the conservative grassroots movement for balance. To that end, we are building two new and distinct organizations. The first is the Rocky Mountain Voice. The Rocky Mountain Voice will report real news to allow Coloradans to have the knowledge to make better decisions in government and in culture. Rocky Mountain Voice will be focused on building trust through truth. We will inspire the next generation of Colorado, and we will always be pro-citizen, pro-liberty, and pro-Colorado. We will honor our heritage of rugged individualism. The second organization will work behind the scenes without a website or a social media handle, without much fanfare. It's a group of people that want to help our grassroots get better, get bigger, and more effective, and they are the best in the business. This group will support existing grassroots organizations with professional back-end support so they become self-sufficient and lethally effective in gaining ground against the left. And when we need to, we'll build new organizations if there isn't one that exists. Our vision is a Colorado where the people can live their lives as they see fit, with only limited support and guidance and little interference from our government. We believe in the governed, not the government. Our beliefs are that Colorado is a state worth fighting for, that the U.S. Constitution must be honored and defended, that the rule of law and equal justice is essential, and that individualism must be promoted over collectivism. So what does this partnership look like? Well, after the election, a couple of us traveled the nation searching for people who were instrumental in flipping blue states to red. That's when we met the folks who saved Texas from becoming blue, who want to help us get Colorado turned around too. Their team of patriots has offered to help and support our efforts here in Colorado and serve as a springboard for our venture. It's all about friends working together to save America. With their backing and invaluable 10 years of insight, Colorado's road to red will get us back on track. None of us are in this to make money. We're in this to help and provide support to other activists and patriots across the state that share our passion for turning Colorado around. Now, Rome wasn't built in a day, and our strategic effort won't be either, but we're here for the long haul. This isn't about helping one candidate or worrying about one race. It's about the long game. It's about rebuilding the conservative movement here for years to come. It's about building a prosperous and free Colorado for our grandchildren and their grandchildren. So what exactly is the Rocky Mountain Voice? Well, one of the most monumental challenges that Coloradans face is that it's really hard to find the truth here. Not only is the mainstream media biased and controlled by Jared Polis and the left, but the right has no effective platform for distributing the truth that gets out to a lot of people. We have lots of great individual journalists and some regional resources and a few platforms that do pretty well, but not one that is the go-to for conservatives across the state. As a result, our messaging is all over the place to folks that aren't in the day-to-day of our movement. Additionally, candidates on our side are forced to interview with hostile outlets who pick and choose from the interviews to paint freedom-loving activists and candidates in a negative light. So the Rocky Mountain Voice will share news from other reliable conservative voices in Colorado. It's called an aggregator, as well as our own original content. Rocky Mountain Voice will provide citizens the information and knowledge they need to be educated and informed regarding policy and government, without the ridiculous liberal bias that we haven't been able to escape. Rocky Mountain Voice will exist for the purpose of reporting on the advancement of self-governance in the Centennial State and beyond. It's not just about news, it's about community. It's about having fun again as conservatives. Now, as a 501c3 organization, a nonprofit, the Rocky Mountain Voice will not participate in partisan politics. As a result, the outlet will remain nimble and call balls and strikes, no matter the offender, Republican or Democrat. The Rocky Mountain Voice will create and aggregate content. So we're not competing with other conservative outlets, we're supporting them and promoting their content. And will also serve as a platform for legislative scorecards that exist and maybe some new ones to reach citizens as well. Rocky Mountain Voice will consist of a robust, constantly updated online news center, RockyMountainVoice.com, with great social media engagement, podcasts, documentaries, and newsletters, both daily and weekly. We'll also have a speakers bureau for conservative groups to tap into for their Lincoln dinners and other events. We'll host fun, engaging rallies and help our grassroots groups take their events to a whole nother level. It's going to be fun, again, to be a conservative in Colorado. Rocky Mountain Voice subscriptions are free. There are no paywalls. The more subscribers we have, the better we are able to communicate with voters across Colorado. Our newsletters will be informative and quick reads, and it'll be a compilation of the news from that week or that day, as it's critical to keep all of you informed as often as the news changes, which is a lot right now. Our goal with Rocky Mountain Voice is to provide reliable, quality news and information to build community and to empower you as citizens. So we've also created a separate organization outside of Rocky Mountain Voice called Red Horse, which is a group of experts that are specialists in development, marketing, technology, event planning, strategy, and research that will empower and grow Colorado liberty-loving grassroots organizations that want to win again. We'll provide these back-end resources and support for free to help you so that you can put your resources as groups into other areas. Red Horse will support liberty-minded groups, including county GOPs, if they like to work with us, that are already doing good work to make them more effective and that want to engage Coloradans to take action, that want a bigger tent. We will be able to create scale and allow them to have a stronger impact than they would otherwise be able to accomplish if they were left on their own. Our goal is to support these groups with tools and mentorship to become self-sufficient and sustainable over time. And organizations that are supported by our efforts will also get free access to an incredible technology platform to run their groups that has the best voter data out there. Through the use of this sophisticated technology platform and access to the best data possible, we'll finally be able to beat the Democrats at their own game. And finally, we're going to continue what we started in the governor's race. We're going to put fun back into the conservative movement in Colorado. We'll give you all kinds of ways to be a part of this, to roll up your sleeves and to get to work saving our great state and our beloved country. Everyone's welcome here. No labels here except one, and that's Americans. So, my friends, are you ready to win again? Let's do this. Sign up for Rocky Mountain Voice at RockyMountainVoice.com to get in the loop and get ready for a fun, hard-charging, game-changing year ahead where winning is the name of the game.